ladies and gentlemen, we are back in action. So we're going to keep this hand. It's a little unfortunate that we have two come into play tap lands and no early creatures, but we have Languish, which is something that can help us catch back up if we fall behind. We're certainly going to need it against the mono-white aggressive deck. Obviously I didn't know what we were playing before I started making those statements, but yeah, we're in a little bit of trouble here. I would much prefer to be on the play. It's going to be dicey. So we have a lot of come to play tap lands. I don't want to get the opportunity to try to trade with something. So hands down, we want to play Den Protector this turn. If we don't play the Den Protector this turn, there's like too good of a chance that the 2 power will just never trade with anything. And then next turn we'll play Hissing Quagmire. The turn after we can play Forest Languish. If we can draw like an ultimate price here, that would really be nice. Mostly we just want to hope that our Languish will wipe the board. So there's a good chance we won't be able to trade with the top Values Lieutenant. Oh jeez, I was going to say, but at least we'll be able to trade with the Dragon Hunter. Looks like we probably won't even be able to do that. And depending on what our opponent's next draw is, we may just be dead no matter what. Another Explosive Vegetation is not really what we want to see here. So if there's any way that we can live through this. The problem is, like, if our opponent plays a single human, this Values Lieutenant will not die to our... And so now we're just dead. So part of the reason I kept the hand was because I thought that even with the Languish, or because of the Languish, there's a good chance we wouldn't get rushed down too fast. But, you know, we block his biggest creature here and we still take 10. It's just the world we live in. Right. Well, that was pretty rough. If we were on the play, it would have been a little different. Basically, this is one of the... I was saying earlier how you don't want to change your deck too much. This is a situation where we do kind of want to change our deck. I think the reach creatures are pretty important because of the presence of the 1 white, the enchantment that costs 1 white to give a creature +1/+0 and flying. Name, apologize. And we definitely want to bring in all our Languishes and all of our random removal. Don't need the Pulse of Murasa. Probably cut one of the Explosive Vegetations. Probably cut like all the Explosive Vegetations. To be honest, like all the ramp elements are just not for this matchup. Virulent Plague doesn't really do anything. Bring into the Slaughter. So the most important thing is to be able to cast a Languish on turn 4. I guess this Pilgrimage is going to be better for that. And then the random life gain can actually be good, I guess. It's good enough, though. For life gain, we just have the Nissa's Renewal, which, like, admittedly isn't really something that I want in the deck either. Maybe just another Dark Petition's better. 5 mana removal spell is really bad. But I'm not sure if it's as bad as a 4 mana ramp spell. The one thing that's a little annoying about this is Pilgrimage only gets forests. It's kind of nice that Explosive Vegetation gets swamps. I mean, this, like, all these Dark Petitions and all these Languishes means that we're just going to be able to Languish over and over and over again, which is kind of what we're in the market for. So I think this is what I want to do. Yeah. All right, here we go. Wow, and I am down to 3 seconds with the sideboarding. I'm not good at that. And this is a reasonable hand. This is nice too, because even though we don't have answers, both these creatures are going to be able to trade with something. So that's good. It's much better to have a creature that's a good blocker rather than like no spell. And we're probably going to be able to get some cards out of Tireless Tracker before we let it go. This is nice. Our opponent can't even attack this turn. Bottom line is just use our mana efficiently. I think I would trade with the Onofenza given the opportunity to do so. Kind of clicking through things, but obviously it would have been better to sequence this the other way. Getting rid of the Onofenza is kind of like looking at things down the line. That Onofenza represents a lot of power and toughness. I've played with that deck, or that card before, and it has been extremely impressive. It's like a really good card. So I'm going to hope that my opponent doesn't have another Declaration Stone. Wow. Well, we've got a lot of clues, so that's nice, but we are going to be getting bashed for quite a bit. We don't, as of now, we don't have anything that impacts the board, and we don't have a land drop, so... It only has one card. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could play the Nissa's Pilgrimage and guarantee that I play Ulvenwald Hydra next turn. I think that's better than playing the Tireless Tracker this turn. I mean, if all that mattered was card advantage, I could just play the Tireless Tracker, but I think it's going to be important for me to just make the plays that are going to be the highest impact. I'm going to take some damage this turn. I really hope my opponent doesn't have like a Thalia's Lieutenant, but this Ulvenwald Hydra will hopefully do a lot of good work here. That is... Languish is certainly what I wanted to see. So... my opponent is just top decking. Activates this, you can attack for 4. If I block it, I would take 8. So I basically have to Languish here. Because a single blocker is not good enough. Oh wow, I'm actually just dead. If I had a land drop, I could play... Or if I had a swamp, I could play Languish and hold to the Slaughter up. But I cannot actually do that. could I do here? I'm just dead. Can't believe I'm dead. Well, the Declaration of Stones works extremely good for my opponent because of the speed at which he killed me. Maybe he just randomly doesn't activate his Needle Spires and I can live. Unlikely, but looks like our opponent saw the line of play. Man, we got housed. Jeez. That was pretty brutal. I mean, as things turned out, if we had known that Languish was on the top of our deck, we could have played Tireless Tracker that one turn instead of, you know, the setting up the Ulvenwald Hydra on the following turn, but we are dead. Well, that was pretty bad.